All right, Shalom. Call Halayim La Yahal Bashim Hal Shai Bashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well for teaching me the truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect, your brothers out there pushing this truth without righteousness and sincerity on the four corners of the world. And to you few sisters as well, okay, who bow yourselves to Israelite men to the saving of your soul, okay, for your salvation. All right, who worship Yahal Bashim Hal Shai in sincerity and truth. To you I say Shalom. All right. So out here in Babylon, it's quote unquote Women's International Women's Month or something along that. There's something along them lines, man. I believe March is let me see. March. Yeah. Yeah, Women's History Month is March out here in Babylon, okay, which is called America today, but it's spiritually Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah, and Egypt, according to the Holy Scriptures. Okay, so I'm doing this video, just reminding you sisters, reminding you Israelite women, okay, to remember Michal or Michal. I don't know how to exactly say her name in the Hebrew, but I'm gonna read this little excerpt from the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 6, and I'm gonna start at verse 14. Okay, and this excerpt is from when King David began his rule over all of Israel. Okay, the southern tribe and the northern tribe. Okay, Judah on down to Issachar. Okay, and King David, ruled finally ruled over both of the houses of Israel. Okay, and he conquered the Philistines. All right, in the last battle, you can read that in 2 Samuel, the 5th chapter. All right, he started a celebration, okay, with the Ark of the Lord. He started a celebration with the Ark of the Lord, and so he wanted to do a celebration, man. And if y'all know King David was always, he was always a man after the heart of the Most High. Okay, he was a man after the heart of the Almighty. Okay, so King David he played tunes for the Most High. That's why you got the book of Psalms. Okay, those are songs to the Lord, prayers and songs to the Lord. Okay, he danced for the Lord. All right, but all of that with context. Okay, so this is the book of Second Samuel chapter 6 verse 14. It says, "And David danced before the Lord with all his might, and David was girded with a linen ephod. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouting and with the sound of a trumpet." So again, they were celebrating, man. Okay, because they conquered the Philistines. All right, Yahweh Shem Shah has delivered the Philistines into the hands of David. Okay. Verse 16, it says, "And as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart." Okay, so for you brothers and sisters who are familiar with King Saul was like, it was the same way, man. Okay, because if you read about the history between Michal and David, Michal loved David at first, and it was the same thing with King Saul. King Saul loved David at first. Okay, but then later on, their hearts started turning bitter towards King David. Okay, and it was all just through the work of Satan. The Most High set it up that way. Okay, but their hearts started turning bitter towards King David. Okay, by reason of jealousy, okay, envy, whatever the case was, because the Lord was ultimately with King David, man. Okay, on a very, very heavy level. Okay. Verse 16, it says, "And as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart. And they brought in the ark of the Lord and set it in his place in the midst of the tabernacle that David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord." Okay, so they was sacrificing and they was making offerings to Yahweh Shem Shah. Okay, this is the Old Testament, so of course they was doing this. All right. Verse 18, it says, "As soon as David had made an end of offering burnt offerings and peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts, all right, whose name is Yahweh, and he dealt among all the people, even you know what, Salakia, Yahweh of armies, man, the Most High of armies. Okay, pursuing back to the book of Exodus 15:3, the Lord is a man of war. So that word hosts, it means armies, man. Okay, and again, this was after the Philistines was delivered into King David's hands. Verse 19, it says, and he dealt among all the people, even among the whole multitude of Israel, as well as to the women, as men, to everyone a cake of bread and a good piece of flesh and a flagon of wine. So all the people departed, everyone to his house. So, they took the food and they peeled up back to the house, man. Okay. This is a celebration, rejoicing in the name of the Lord. All right, for the victory that was obtained. And then David returned to bless his household. And Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said, how glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids of his servants, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovereth himself. Okay, so when King David was dancing, okay, because what it sounds like here in context, when King David was dancing, you know what I'm saying, he his thingamabob, you know what I'm saying, was flashed. You know what I'm saying? His thingamabob was flashed. All right, his man parts had came out. All right, so this is Michal, the daughter of Saul. Okay, keep in mind the daughter of Saul. All right, who shamed King David when he came back to bless his household. She said what? How glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids of his servants, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovered himself. Yeah, like she basically saying, oh, look at you, the king of Israel. You know what I'm saying? How glorious to you to just be, shamelessly flashing yourself before the people. Okay, she was, she was being a bitch. In so many words, she was being a bitch, man. She was being very sarcastic, Verse 21, and David said unto Michal, it was before the Lord, which chose me before thy father, and before all his house, to appoint me ruler over the people of the Lord, over Israel. Okay, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Therefore will I play before the Lord. Okay, so King David, he put his foot down, man. He said, look, the Lord chose me over your father, okay, to rule over Israel. Okay, because Israel was still divided in the time of Saul, the southern tribe and the northern tribes. Okay, but what? Yahweh Shem Yahushua picked King David to rule over all of Israel. So how dare you shame me, woman? How dare you come against me like that? All right. And so King David said what? He said, therefore will I play before the Lord. So I'm still going to be singing and I'm going to still be dancing. Okay, I'm going to still be doing what I got to do. Verse 22, it says, and I will yet be more vile than thus, and will be base in mine own sight. And of the maidservants which thou hast spoken of them shall I be had in honor. Okay, so King David, he said what? There's going to be times where I'm going to be worse than that. It's going to be worse than that situation. Okay, the situation that you tried to shame me for, it says, and of the maidservants which thou hast spoken of them shall I be had in honor. Okay, so what? King David said, look, hey, the people still going to like me. The maidservants are still going to like me. They still going to love me. They still going to honor me. Okay, but here it is. My own wife in my own house, okay, is disrespecting me, man. It's trying to put me to shame before the Lord. How dare you, man? Verse 23, it says, therefore, Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child until the day of her death. Okay, so I'm bringing this excerpt out again to remind you, sisters, remember Michal, okay, the wife of King David, the daughter of King Saul, because what? A lot of y'all women today, y'all be trying to put brothers to shame, man. Like if you go on these YouTube and TikTok videos and Instagram videos and stuff like that, you don't see nothing but women shaming men for their penis sizes, for their facial features, whatever it is that a man typically can't control, his baldness, whatever it is, man. But here it is, y'all out here harlots, man. Okay, y'all out here harlots, and the worst types of harlots, man. Okay. Y'all got the spirit of Jezebel on y'all. Abaratazah, that'd be a video for another day. Okay, but the point is, remember Michal, man. She died without children. Okay, she was the wife of King David. So King David, he didn't touch her after that, man. He didn't give her no children. And back in the ancient world, that was basically a curse, man, for a woman, not to have children, especially late in their age, man. And so, King David, he said, All right. If your husband didn't want to touch you or give you children and things of that nature, man. You know, like a woman was frowned upon, but now a woman is praised for not having kids. You know, oh, you don't got no kids, girl, you doing so good, and yada yada yada, and all this other BS, man. All right, but that was the point on that. Let me get this. You know what? Let me start with Proverbs, man. You know, again, a reminder to you sisters, Michal died without children. Okay, King David had no favor toward Michal after she tried to shame him in his own house, man. Okay, and this is why you know the men of the Lord, we come out and we tell y'all sisters, all right, hey, just humble down. All right, love your husbands. You know, you want to get saved and all of this stuff, man. All right, humble yourselves. All right, submit yourselves unto your husbands. Love your husbands, as the scriptures say. And husbands, love your wives. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10. It says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life." All right, because another scripture that, you know, a lot of y'all women who don't know a damn thing about the scriptures, y'all try to bring out, you know, the Bible says, "He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing." But a lot of y'all are not wives, man. A lot of y'all don't even know what the word wife means. As a matter of fact, let's go into that. Let's go into the word wife. Let's see what the word wife means in the etymology. Okay? It says a married person, either one of a married pair, but especially a married woman in relation to her husband. Also, Christ or God as the spiritual husband of the soul, the church. Hold up. Let me see. I think it was another oh, because it went in the spouse. Damn wicked, man. Look up wife and it goes into spouse. All right. So wife, all right, noun. Middle English with wife, or with again. From Old English with Proto-Germanic weapon of uncertain origin. Okay. It says woman, female lady, also but not especially wife. Let me see. Where is it? Or was it woman? Yeah, Khan, Salakia, okay? The word woman, it's the word woman. It says adult female human, women, literally woman man, of with men, woman female servant, okay? Which is also a wife, all right? A wife is a female servant, okay? So you're supposed to be a servant to your husbands, okay? You're supposed to be a servant to your husbands in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, it says, well, yeah, that was the point on that. Okay, a woman is a female servant. All right, because remember, Adam was first created and then Eve. Okay, Eve did not come before Adam, so a man can't be a servant unto his wife. All right, because that's called being a simp. All right, but that was the point on that. The scriptures say in Proverbs 31:10, it says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies." Okay, which means she's ultimately valuable. She's extremely valuable. All right, because when you look at the nature of women today, in today's world, all right, they all over the place, man. They're quote unquote free spirits. All right, so they dip and dabble into every every part of life, man. All right, they I'm talking about they hop from man to man, even with women or with animals. Okay, they worship any and everything. All right, they're into witchcraft. All right, so who can find a virtuous woman? All right, a woman of true value, a woman of substance. Okay, it says, for her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Okay? She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. Well, you get the point, man. All right, that was the point on that because I wanted to get a precept to back that up. All right, so you're supposed to be doing your husband's good, man, because what? The word woman, it says female servant, man. It says female servant. This is what a woman is. Okay, this ain't something I just pulled out of my ass. This is on this. All right, this is on the internet. Okay, because again, a lot of y'all don't want to look up words, man. A lot of y'all don't want to find the definitions. Here it is. We're in the age of information, and nobody's obtaining information. You know. Let me get this in Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26. Verse 1, it says, blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. Okay, so your wife is supposed to be doing you good, man. And you're supposed to keep your household in order. Verse 2, it says, a virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. Okay? No drama, not all the excessive arguing. Okay, there are going to be points where y'all disagree, all right, because disagreements are part of life. All right, but ultimately, your wife is supposed to have your back. All right, so to you Israelite women, you sisters out there, y'all supposed to have your man's back. Okay, through any situation, you know. Verse 3, it says, a good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. So, you know, and this ain't to say that every brother is gonna have, you know what I'm saying, a wife, a woman on the side, which is fine. Okay, because we want better in the kingdom. But this is saying, you know what I'm saying, if Yahweh Shem Shah does bless a brother with a rib, with a wife, with a more virtuous woman, as far as they could get on this side, that is, okay, then then that means that man has obtained favor of the Lord, man. Okay, again, not every brother is gonna go out with a woman on his side, you know. But if you have one, you know what I'm saying, make sure you doing what you got to do for her, and make sure she's doing what you got to do, what she got to do for you. Okay. Verse 4, it says, whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. So as long as the man's heart is toward Yahweh Shem Shai, okay, in all sincerity and truth, the man is always going to have a good countenance, man. All right, a cheerful countenance. Okay, a cheerful countenance, because what? We have Yahweh Shem Shai, and Yahweh Shem Shai is always going to bless us, man. Always, you know. Shall we always have good days with the Lord? No. Okay, because being in the truth, shit is going to happen. You are going to catch hell. But guess what? Whether it says whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. So rejoice, man. All right. Let me jump down. Okay, let me jump down to how a woman is not supposed to be, man. All right. Let me see 26 and 15. All right, jumping down to verse 15, it says, and this whole chapter is heavy. This whole chapter is heavy concerning this. All right, again, remember Michal. All right, she died without child, man. Okay. Sirach 26 and 15, it says, a shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. Okay, a shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace. Okay, so here it is. You in the Lord. So what if the Lord give you a woman? You know what I'm saying? That's with you, man. Okay, that's all for you. You know, in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, that's a double grace, man. That's a beautiful thing. All right, and it says a shamefaced woman. Okay, she's humble, man. She's lowly. She's meek. All right. What else we got up here? I'm gonna jump down to verse 26, okay, which is ultimately the point. It says, a woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to 2 Samuel 6 and 20. Okay, when Michal shamed her husband, all right, which is King David. It says, then David returned to bless his household, and Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said, how glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids of his servants, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovered himself. Again, she was being a bitch, man. Okay, she wasn't being a wife, she wasn't being a woman, because what, she shamed her husband. All right, and one thing you sisters should not ever do is shame your husbands, man. Okay, don't talk down to him. Don't be sarcastic with him. Don't take up no type of crazy tone with him. Again, it's okay to disagree, because what, y'all are gonna have disagreements. Okay, more so in the world, you know, y'all got to be agreed in the spirit, of course. You know, of Yahweh Shem Shah, but like I'm talking about like little worldly matters and things of that nature. Okay, you should never dishonor your husband, man. All right. It would be wise of you not to dishonor a man in general, but, you know, we ain't going to talk about that now. All right. It says, a woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all. So Michal wasn't being wise. Okay. Because what? She dishonored her husband. It says, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. Okay. So that's why Michal, she died without kids, man. To look like King David ain't find no, there was no more favor of her in King David's eyes, man. Okay? There was no more favor of her. All right, so she died without kids, and hey, it was what it was. All right, so in tribute to Women's History Month, or whatever the case is in Babylon, America, I invite you, sisters, to again remember Michal. Okay? Now remember to honor your husbands in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? So with that being said, I'm going to say Shalom.